plant queens, welcome back to my channel. I'm Saab and today I will be showing you one of my favorite propagation methods. So I'm actually recording this on the same day that I recorded my Hoya unboxing. So if you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. And I want to include some updates. We're dealing with this plant today, so I thought I would record this early. And today the method I'm going to show you is something that I will often use if I want like a full pot of a plant or if I'm rehabbing a plant. So I like to call it the Ziplock jail method. A lot of YouTubers, sorry, I'm so out of breath. I don't know why. A lot of YouTubers do this, but I've found that using Pon, so I have my Pon mixture here. It's just a bucket of Pon. And if you don't know what Pon is, I have like a lot of videos. I'll put them up here that you can check out on my channel. It is one of my favorite substrates along with leca and maybe moss a little bit now. But yes, I love to use Pon to propagate. I find that it's super effective. And what I want to do today is show you how I'm propagating this Biakensis longicolis. Sorry, let me just show you that properly. Black Pagoda Lipstick Plant. So if you're not familiar with this plant, the front looks great, right? Like those patterned leaves are pretty cool, but the back is even better because on the back you can see that it has red markings. That's just beautiful. And I actually had a bigger pot of this, but it was in leca and it went downhill, so I just saved this cutting and it has been growing in water. Sorry, the roots are kind of disgusting. That's not rot, that's just algae growing around them. But yes, I will be propagating this. This is just a stray amydrium on the side. And the first thing I want to do is prepare a pot. So this is the pot I'm using. I use this for a lot of my Hoyas. It's just a basic clear plastic pot. Nothing too special about it. And I get this question a lot. I do use pots with drainage holes. So you can see this is just a regular pot with drainage holes because I like to water my pond plants like watering my plants in soil. So obviously you can use a reservoir for it as well. Totally up to you. This is just what works for me in my environment. So what I'm gonna do is just fill this up with Pon, what I already showed you here. And this will have to be off camera, sorry. So here is my pot with Pon. This is just DIY Pon, which again, I have some videos on my channel which you can check out. And let's just set that aside. Now what I'm going to do is, can you see it from here? Yes, you can. Just pretty much chop this up into individual nodes. I'll see if I can find you a better angle. Give me a second. Maybe if I put it here, can you see that better? Yes, you can see that better. Okay, so I'm just going to chop this up into individual nodes. So the roots for this one actually can come from, if I'm not mistaken, they can come from anywhere. So they're similar to Hoyas in that the roots can come from these points or from the end or from the nodes as well. But I will include a node because that is where the new growth is coming from. So this is our first cutting. I will just set that aside. And just literally do the same thing for the rest of them. So that is, those are our other cuttings. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cuttings. There, can you see that? This is not the best lighting, I'm so sorry. There you go, that is a better view. So ideally, I will air dry these for maybe 2 hours. The length of how long you want to air dry a plant really depends on how thick the stems are or the petioles are. Since these are pretty thin, they don't need to be air dried for a long time. But since I'm doing this for this video and because I'm lazy, I will just stick it right into the substrate, which, you know, if you have time to air dry, definitely do that because it helps the plant callus over and really reduces your chances of rot. So I'm just crossing my fingers that this won't rot. So again, here is our substrate, and I am literally just sticking this into the substrate like so. So it's super simple, and I'm just gonna do that for the rest of these. And there you go. That looks so much better than I thought it would. Look at that. That is so cute. That is adorable. So I'm very happy about this. And so now what I'm going to do is just water this, and I will go do that now and get back to you. Okay, now I have watered it. It is dripping everywhere, so I won't show you anymore. Another question I will sometimes get is, should you water your pond? Like, should you clean it before you use it? And should you do it before or after you use it? My answer to that, or what I will personally do, is I water it after I put the plant in, because I've found that it's quite difficult to work with wet or moist pond. Like, it sticks to your fingers and it's hard to clean up, and it's just not a fun time overall. So what I like to do is pretty much what you saw, put my cuttings or my plant in, and then water it after until the water runs clear. So what I will do with this now is put it in this Ziplock bag, and what that will do is increase the humidity. So it's like its personal dome while it is rooting. And now I am just closing the Ziplock jail, as I like to call it. Sealed all the way through to make sure that moisture doesn't escape. And that is what she looks like. I will just put this here. For now, I'll probably find a better spot for it that's not in all of my videos. But yeah, I will put it in a spot where it receives bright indirect sunlight, not direct sunlight, because it might burn the cuttings since they don't have roots to support them yet. And I will come back to you in maybe 2 to 3 weeks to see how it's doing for the final update. Hi, so it has been, I would say, 3 weeks. I should have put the correct time on the screen, but about 3 weeks since I recorded the last portion of this video, and it's now time to check on how our plant is doing. The only thing I did in between, I will insert some footage here, is actually spray the top of the plant. At one point it got a little bit dry, so I think I mentioned in the last video, you do want to keep it moist. Although within the Ziplock jail, it shouldn't really get rid of a lot of moisture. It should contain it within, you know, at least I would say 2 weeks, and then you should open up the bag to check. And aside from that, as you will see in the footage, I also half opened the Ziplock after I noticed some new growth, because that means that it's time to start sort of acclimating it to my environment, so we don't have such a hard time doing that later on. So that's kind of where we left it off, and I'm just going to show you the plant now. So this is it. It's still half opened. As you can see, it's still in the same Ziplock, and I haven't opened it since I half opened it, which was, I would say, last week. So it's been like this for about a week. I'm taking it out of the bag now so we can take a look. And here she is. So it doesn't look too different. I think it was these growth points that were there in the last video, and then these two are new there at the top, and I also see some growth points kind of scattered throughout. I realized too late that I should have used a clear pot so I could show you the roots, but since there's new growth, I'm pretty sure there's also root, and if you pull it up like that, like it won't really come out without much resistance. So that means that the plant is pretty much good to go now. Like, this is its own little plant. It's well rooted, and that's so easy. Like, I think from this video you can really see how easy it is to use this method. I'm really into just leaving plants be and letting them do their thing, which is why I'm very into passive hydroponics. So this is my favorite propagation method because there's a very low failure rate. All of the cuttings made it. I don't see any one of them that died, and yeah, it's super easy. Just keep it wet in a bag for a few weeks and you have a new plant. And while we're here, I actually wanted to show you 2 more plants that I've done the Ziplock jail method to over the past month. This one in this little bag is my Hoya Biakensis, and this is a case of rehab. I actually, well, not me, my cat knocked this over recently and it kind of tore some of the roots, so let's check on it. You can see some new root growth. Don't know if you can see that there. But so my point is you can use this method to kind of rehab plants as well if you need to. And it's a great way to do that. So I'm just gonna put this. Ooh, the wind's really strong. Not sure if you can hear that. But I am putting this back here and closing the window again. Okay, and I wanted to show you this Hoya Bella. If you watched my last haul, you know I got a Hoya Bella. I actually chopped it up, which is very typical of me to chop up lush plants and turn them into smaller plants, and put it in the Ziplock as well. So this is all from cuttings. Basically the same exact process you saw in this video. And this is the first time I'm taking her out of the bag actually. And here she is. There's like tons of new growth everywhere. And there's even a little peduncle right over there. So, can you see that? Wow. So, I mean, that's 3 plants to show you that this method really works, right? And there's lots of beautiful root growth down there. Zoom in, future me. So, yeah. I think that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions about this method, or if you've tried it yourself and have had good results, please do let me know in the comments. I enjoy reading your comments and talking to you about these things. And I'll put a video up here for you to watch next. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!